Welcome back, Blue Raider Nation, to another season preview, but this time for softball, and we are joined by head coach Jeff Breeden as he enters his 14th season in the blue and white, and he is also the most winningest coach in MTSU softball history. Now, Coach, when we start this, I first just want to kind of gather your thoughts or just hear from you of how you are preparing as the season is now approaching.
Today is the day that we're taping this thing. Is cold outside, and we've been going for about a week now, and we've not missed any outside days now. But it looks like in the weekend coming up, it's going to get about 12 inches of snow. So we'll see what happens on that. So we kind of adapt as we come and go. We do a lot of indoor hitting, and then we'll practice inside sometimes. We've been in the football stadium this past weekend. We were in a football stadium, and because our dirt was a little bit too wet, and so we scrimmaged in there a couple times. So it just depends on what the weather does, and but we try not to miss any days and try to get ready. I mean, we got to get our pitchers ready. I guess now we're less than 3 weeks out. So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I know that there's also 12 returners that are coming back onto the field, but what are you already seeing from them? Maybe leaders finally stepping up, or leaders that are continuing to be vocal within your team?
We're really strong in the outfield, and from all of our returners, of course, behind the plate, Ansley's been our starting catcher for ever since she's been here. I mean, she's probably started every game, just about every game that she's been here. She's a senior now, and she'll be an all-conference. She's been all-conference a couple times. She'll be it again this year probably. She's chasing some personal records as far as hitting goes, as far as home runs in a season, home runs in career, and this type of thing. And she'll do a great job. But then our center fielder, Lexi Medlock, has been there for the last couple of years, and she does a great job, tracks the ball really well. She came in from Siegel High School as a slapper, and we converted her, and Bryce converted her into a left-handed power hitter, and she is a power hitter now and does a great job for us. So, as we look at returning players, of course, we're going to talk about Jana in a minute, but our outfield is really, really strong all the way around. Now, we got older kids out there in two spots, in left field and center field, and then we'll have somebody new probably in right. But they're really strong out there. So our question mark is going to be how does our pitching staff develop, because we got a lot of new arms in the circle. So.
And like you said, we're going to talk about Jana. We're going to talk also about Ainsley again, your catcher, because both of them have now been named preseason all-conference. So there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of excitement surrounding their name. I know for Jana last year, she was conference freshman of the year, which is the first time in program history. Mm-hmm. But from both of those players, how have you kind of seen them just grow overall and just continue to make their mark here in the blue and white?
Ansley is our vocal leader. I mean, and her position lends itself to that because she's catching and she handles our pitching staff and all that. But she has a really good understanding of. She has good softball IQ, and she knows what's going on, and she's really vocal, and our kids know that she's a leader. Jana kind of does it. Jana's not as outgoing and outspoken by any means as Ansley, but Jana does it with her play. I mean, Jana. She's from Canada. She's in the Canadian national pool as far as their national team goes. So she gets some time with them during the year, both in the fall and in the spring or in the summertime. And she's just a straight up hitter. I mean, she can hit it. She's one of the best hitters in our conference. She's probably one of the best hitters in the nation, just to be honest with you. She's really, really good there. So she kind of does leadership with her play, and our kids look up to her. Even though she's not very outspoken, I think she will be as she goes on in her career. But that's kind of her leadership style. And then we got a lot of young kids that can really, really play. I think Mary Martinez is going to be. She's one of our senior pitchers. Mm-hmm. She's going to be a leader for us. I think so is Tori Kaufman. I think she's going to have a good year in the circle, and she's a senior also. And she was a transfer. She was here. Transferred from from Walter State, and pitched some for us last year. We look for big things for her as well. So those are kind of our leadership roles.
You mentioned it earlier about your outfield, and especially with Macy Harder, a sophomore left fielder, last year second team all-conference and all-freshman team, and she actually tied the single-season program record and led the conference with 6 triples on the season. Talk about that dynamic as well, just her, what she brings, especially to the outfield, and what you're mentioning that's very much of a strength for this team.
Macy's strength is speed and quickness.
Okay.
And she's a small package. She's a small girl, but she covers a lot of ground in the outfield. Got a very good arm. She threw several people out at home plate and at third base last year, and we just feel like that when the ball's put up in the air, she's going to go catch it. And the same thing with Lexi, but with Macy's going to. I think Macy's. She was all second team all conference last year. I think she's definitely an all conference player. Whether she gets picked for that or not, we'll see. She's going to have a lot more triples. She's got a little bit more power this year than she did last year. She's hit a few balls out in early practices and whatnot, but she's not going to be a power hitter. But she is going to be she's probably going to hit in the leadoff spot for us, and so she's going to need to be a catalyst for us and be able to see some pitches and maybe take some walks. And she's also a base stealing threat, so I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't lead us in runs scored and possibly even singles this year.
We're going to talk about now the newcomers. There's 8 freshmen, 1 transfer, and Hallie Klaber from Lipscomb. She's going to be adding more to the pitching pool. What are you seeing from those new faces, and how are they adapting overall to being here at MTSU?
Hallie's, they're all adapting pretty well. Then they're all going to have a good role for us. Hallie is a hard thrower, and once she gets control and really understands what it is, what her pitching style is, she's going to do a good job for us in the circle. We think all 5 of our pitchers are going to have a spot to throw this year as we go. You're going to see we got a Rutherford County freshman, which is Adeze. Adeze is from Smyrna. And when our fans come to watch us play, Adeze is going to be our starting third baseman, looks like. And she plays with a lot of energy. She's always got a smile on her face. She's always pleasant. If our fans want to interact with anybody, she's the one that they want to talk to because she's just full of energy and really a really pleasant person. She's going to hit probably in the 9 spot for us, which we think is another leadoff spot. And I'm glad we've got some Rutherford County kids that can play, and she's definitely one that they're going to get familiar with her pretty quickly. We've got Lily Bethune is a freshman. She's probably going to be our DP. She comes in from Alabama. She lives in Tennessee, but she went to high school in Alabama, right across the line, and holds the Alabama state record in home runs hit. I mean, she was hitting bomb after bomb after bomb last year. She's got a good bat. Hopefully she'll do that again for us. And she's shown a lot of promise early too. So we got a lot of freshmen. Maddie Pint, you're probably going to see her in right field some. She has a strong bat as well. She's a freshman. So it's going to be we'll run the gamut of freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. But
of course, not so exciting to be able to witness to. But looking back at last season, 2 of the highlights beating number 20 Mississippi State, number 19 Mississippi State, but that was the first time in 20 years that you all beat them. And then also Liberty, number 24 at the time in the country. Both of those at their home field, which I think is also very crucial and very important to remember. How do you think that this team will carry on those explosive wins and just that explosive energy into this season?
It tells them, number one, that they can play with anybody. We go down there and we play great against Mississippi State, and Sabria Rideau she was big in that. And what happened? She came off the bench, got a hit, we got the winning run scored, all that down there. At the time, our pitcher pitched well, lights out all day. They ended up getting her out of the transfer portal and take her to Mississippi State. So, sometimes it's a double-edged sword. So we beat Mississippi State, but we lose our number 1 pitcher to Mississippi State. So, but that's the way it is now. So then we go up to Liberty, and Liberty hadn't lost a conference game until we got up there, and we really hit well against them. We pitched well. We had some bombs in that game, and Jana had 4 or 5 RBIs or whatever it was. She went off in that game and played them really well the whole series. So those type wins and they just allow your team to know, hey, we can play with anybody in the country. That's kind of what we set our early schedule up. I know we're going to talk about that, but that's what we set our early schedule up to be, is to get us ready for conference play. And as you see, we're going down and we're going to take on, as we sit here today, Florida's ranked number 5, and we got them twice in one weekend down there. So we don't really we take on all comers and try to play good people.
As you should. And with the veterans, 12 of them, being able to experience all of those things last year and all of those wins, how do you think that they are maintaining that energy so that they can pour into these new girls and tell them we can be whatever we choose to be and we can play with the best of the best?
Yeah, they know. I mean, they know when we go play in a big stadium, and they know when we play SEC teams. SEC all the time showing their commercial. It just means more here, and we saw in the college football thing, they would need to take that commercial off and not show it anymore because evidently it doesn't.
Exactly.
Indiana needs to be putting that on their thing. So, anyway, they know, and we got to play in those big venues and we got to play against those big teams so that when we get sent to Alabama for the region, or we get sent to UT or wherever they send us, there's going to be 4,000 people there, and so we kind of try to do that and trying to go to these big places just so that, hey, it's not a shock when we get down there and play in front of 4,000 versus Alabama.
We're going to continue on with this conversation of now we're moving on to the schedule of things. I know you have a lot of away series in the beginning of the schedule, like what you said, playing number 5 Florida. How do you just think overall that this will set up them from the beginning and to the end whenever they're in conference? How do you think this is really good? It's going to boost them overall with their confidence?
Well, the first thing we do is we use these first 4 weekends to kind of set what our lineup's going to be like as we enter conference play in the regular season. So through the first 4 weeks, we're going to decide, hey, who's going to be our Friday starter in the circle, our Friday Sunday starter, and how is our pitching rotation going to work, all that, blah, blah, blah. Everybody will play in these first 4 weeks. We'll get a good idea about who can play and who can't play at the moment, or, at what moment is too big for somebody not to play. And then we set it up just to get ready for that first weekend. So, and we try to go where it's warm. So we're starting out down at Troy. Down there, I think we play North Alabama a couple times. We play UTC once. We got Troy once, maybe somebody else. And then we go to UTC the second weekend and play teams from up north. I think we got Ohio, Bellarmine, Canisius, UTC again, and then down in Florida. So in Florida, we got Florida, Lindenwood, and somebody else. 3 teams down there, Florida twice, and then we come back to our home field, and finally after, 15 games or whatever.
I was about to say a little bit.
we get to come home. So we stay on the road. Hopefully it's warm. We don't know what it's going to be like down in Chattanooga. Whatever the weather is there, it'll be here. So, but we hope for good weather at all those different places.
Like you said, you're starting the season out at the Trojan Classic in Alabama at Troy University. What do you think your goals or expectations are? I know that you mentioned the lineup, kind of figuring that out more, but even more deeper than that, what are you just really wanting to see amongst this group?
We want to try to come out of the gate fast. So, we're going to have practiced against ourselves and scrimmaged against ourselves probably 6 times before we go down to Troy. So we want to try to come out of the gate. If we're wanting to try to get an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament, then you got to come out in these first 4 weekends and not lose to somebody that you're supposed to beat. So we need to, again, we want to come out of the gate. We want to compete. We want to see who gets hot, see how our pitchers are going to, the main thing is to figure out our pitching staff over those first 4 weeks, and especially down at Troy, and then see who's hot and see who's going to lead us and who we're going to have to ride on all year, and who are going to be like I said a minute ago, who's going to be the Friday, Sunday starter.
We're switching things a little bit now to the academic side, because whenever I was studying and I was researching all about softball here, one thing that I continued to see that really impressed me was that almost every single player on your roster had CUSA Commissioner's Honor Roll. 6 players in the fall had a 4.0 GPA and a total average of a 3.634 GPA. How proud are you of this team when it comes to academics? Because that, as being a student athlete, it's more than just being the athlete, because student does come first.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of all of our kids because they all did well in the fall, and we do well all the time. It's not, my whole time here, we've always had a high GPA.
Yeah.
And we preach to them about you're going to stay here and play here for 4 years, but then it's all going to be said and done. You're not going to play any after that. So get your degree. And so, I'm proud of our whole athletic department because as we had our head coaches meeting a couple weeks ago, and Chris was talking about everybody's GPA was just out the roof, and it's a lot better than the general public's. And people think that that your athletes and you're getting special. Well, you're not. You're not really getting special treatment. But our athletes, all of our sports, have great GPAs, and all of our coaches strive to make sure that their athletes are in class and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that they're going to get a degree from here, and they're going to be good citizens and good ambassadors for a university for years to come.
Last question is, what are you most excited for this season that you also want to share with the Blue Raider Nation to make sure that they come out and they see some great softball this season?
I think when they come and watch us play, they're going to see high energy. Our kids practice with high energy. They really enjoy being around one another. They enjoy each other off the field. And we're just going to compete. We're going to try to win the championship. It's fun. It's fun winning conference championships. It's fun getting to design rings. It's fun going to the NCAA tournament. So, I think they're going to see us. Hopefully, they're going to see us break some home run records again. That was fun last year, as we had 40-something games in a row that we hit bombs in, and those are always great and good. And hopefully, we're going to score some runs, and hopefully, our pitching staff's going to. This game really revolves around your pitchers. So if our pitchers do their thing and we have good outings by them, and we can keep the score within, we can keep our opponents to 5 runs, then I think we got a chance to win every game. And so I think it'll be a fun spring. Again, who knows how we're going to get picked in the preseason? Probably down at the bottom of the pack in the conference because our conference is strong.
Yeah.
But I think we got a chance. I think anybody's got a chance to win our conference, and that's what we're going to. That's what our goal is, to win conference and keep moving on.
All right. Well, it's going to be a good one, and thank you so much, Coach, for your time. Once again, their season begins February 6th through 8th in Troy, Alabama, and then they are finally going to make their return here at the Blue Raider Classic February 27th through March 1st. So make sure you are there. Make sure you're loud and proud. And as always, let's go Blue.